When Ashleigh Barty and Maria Sharapova faced each other at the 2019 Australian Open, they gave us a three-set thriller. Sharapova's power against Barty's control and skill allowed us to witness great shot making, drama until the end, and the willpower of both players, making this match so enjoyable to watch. After 2 hours and 22 minutes, Barty ended up winning with a score of 4-6, 6-1, 6-4, becoming the first Australian to reach the quarterfinals of the tournament since 2009. This is a match we will analyze today. Today, we will take a look at the tactics Barty used to win this match. After watching this match several times and gathering all the numbers, my theory is that Barty won this match for three reasons: consistency, variety, and amount of work required. Let's start with consistency. At first sight, consistency doesn't seem to be an important factor. When we take a look at the official stats of this match, we see that Sharapova had 51 unforced errors while Barty had 45. Having 6 unforced errors more than your opponent in a 3-set match doesn't seem like a big deal. At first sight, it seems both players were very similar in terms of consistency. This is true. However, and the reason consistency ended up being such an important factor was because they were consistent at different periods of the match. You see, this match can be divided in 3 periods. The first period represents the entire first set, which was won by Sharapova. The second period covers the entire second set, plus the first 4 games of the third set, and the third period covers the end of the third set. In each of these periods, the player that made less unforced errors was the one that won most games. Here's how this worked. Instead of looking at the unforced errors of the entire match, I decided to separate these errors by periods. Then, I divided these errors by the amount of games they played on each period. And that gave me an average of unforced errors by game. Taking this approach allowed me to calculate a player's consistency in an objective way throughout a certain moment of the match. The lower this number gets, the better that player's consistency was. After calculating this number for both Barty and Sharapova in each of these 3 periods, the results are as follows. For Sharapova, we have 1.1 for the first period, 1.82 for the second period, and 1.7 for the third period. For Barty, we have 2 for the first period, 0.73 for the second period, and 1.5 for the third period. As you can see, we have a direct relationship between consistency and results. In all 3 periods, the player that won most games was the one with less unforced errors. Another important aspect to let you know is that in this match, Sharapova was broken 4 times, and in those 4 service games, she made a total of 7 double faults. That means that if we only consider those 4 games, Sharapova had an average of almost 2 double faults per game, which helped Barty grab those service breaks. The next aspect we need to discuss is variety, but before we do, we need to establish some quick groundwork. We need to first talk about Barty's game in terms of her strokes. Barty has a powerful serve with a lot of accuracy. Her net game is amazing. Her forehand is strong, which she uses to get the upper hand on the point, and her backhand is solid. Plus, she has a great slice that adds variety to her game. This slice is what I want to talk in more detail. This slice, when used correctly, has many advantages. One of them is that it weakens your opponent's shots. By hitting low slices, the opponent is forced to take some speed out of her shots and add more spin so the ball can pass over the net. Against Sharapova, this principle becomes very useful since one of Maria's strengths is the power and pace she has on both forehand and backhand. So, what I decided to do was to take a look at how Barty used the slice in this match. In particular, I took notice of which shot she used after hitting a low slice. Basically, I created 2 scenarios. The first one was Barty hitting a slice after another slice. The second one was Barty hitting flat or with topspin after hitting a slice. Then I took notice of how many times these scenarios happened during this match, and I compared results. Just as I did with consistency, I calculated this number for each of the 3 periods, getting the following results. For the first period, Barty hit a slice after another slice 42% of the times, and 58% of the times she hit flat or topspin after using the slice. For the second period, Barty hit the slice after another slice 27% of the times, and on 73% of the times she hit flat or topspin after using the slice. Finally, during the last period, the ratio was 31% against 69%. I know that at the moment, these numbers mean nothing, but I need you to trust me for the next couple of minutes. After gathering these numbers, the next thing I calculated was the amount of times Barty used her forehand and backhand. In short words, I wanted to know which of these two strokes Barty used more. For the first period, she had 50-50 ratio between forehand and backhand. For the second period, she had 56-44 ratio between forehand and backhand. And for the third period, the ratio got to 57-43. My theory is that these two calculations are connected. I believe that Barty was able to use her forehand more often because she reduced the amount of time she used the slice after another slice. Here's my hypothesis. One of Sharapova's biggest strengths is the amount of power she has on her shots. During the first set, Barty tried to use her slice to decrease Maria's power. The problem is that by using the slice more often, you allow your opponent to get used to the shot and find a way to counter it. This is the same principle coaches use when they want to help you develop a certain skill on the court. They feed the same ball over and over again in an attempt you can master the skill through repetition. This is what I believe happened during the first set. By using this slice too often, Barty sort of taught Maria how to handle this shot. During the second and third period, she reduced this pattern. Barty decided to mix his slice with flat and topspin, and in consequence, she got weaker shots from Sharapova that allowed her to run around her backhand and find her forehand more often that she could use later to take control of the point. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the amount of work both players had to do to win points during their service games. You see, whenever you play a match, you try to conserve both physical and mental energy. If players had the power to choose between winning a point with an ace or by engaging in a 25-shot rally, most of them would choose hitting the ace because it's the option that asks them to spend less energy. And the less energy you spend, the easier it becomes to maintain your performance during the entire match. During this match, Sharapova had to work a lot more than Barty to win points during her service games. We can take notice of this by classifying the outcome of each first serve by both players into 3 categories. First, we have good results, that represents the unreturned serves or the ones that led to a short ball that the player could use to finish the point. Next, we have neutral results, that represents the serves that started a neutral rally. And finally, we have the bad results, that represents the serve that allowed the opponent to take control of the point. This last category represents the big returns of serve. During this match, Barty had a 53% of good results, while Sharapova only had 29%. In other words, Barty's serve allowed her to win points easier than Sharapova. Barty's serve allowed her to win her service games easier than Sharapova, which meant less physical and mental fatigue. In general, these are the aspects Barty used to win this match. However, this is just the results of my research. Now, I would like to know your opinion about this match. Did you agree with my research? Do you believe Barty used other tactics? Please let me know in the comments section. I also wanted to let you know that I created a Facebook group for those of you that want to talk about strategies, share your experiences during your matches, or ask for advice. If you want to join the group, I will leave a link on the video description below. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon. My name is Jorge, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.